Welcome back to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Jane Bellante, and today we're going to take a little bit of a different route, and it is one that I believe is really deeply important, but we rarely talk about it in business spaces, and that is your chakra system and how it relates to your creative business. So, what I am about to share might explain why you've been stuck, why you've been second guessing yourself, or why you've been feeling off in your business even when you're doing everything right. So let's get started. Welcome to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast, the show where creativity meets strategy and mindset meets success. I'm Jane Bellante, artist, coach, and creative entrepreneur, here to help you break free from self-doubt, clear limiting beliefs, and build a business that aligns with who you truly are. Each week, we dive into the mindset shifts, visibility strategies, and creative breakthroughs that help you turn your passion into a thriving business without burnout, overthinking, or perfectionism holding you back. If you're ready to step into your power, create with confidence, and grow a business you love, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. I am so excited to be here. You could be watching me live in my free Facebook group. I'm here every Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time. It is called the Limitless Creators Hub. Or you could be listening to the replay on Apple or Spotify or watching on YouTube. Either way, I am so grateful that you are here. I am opening this so that I can see comments, etc. So I want to talk about these invisible layers of your business because we talk a lot about strategy and content and branding and marketing in the online space. But what if the real reason your business feels off or exhausting or unclear is not tactical at all? What if it's energetic? And I have seen this over and over again, not only with myself, but with the creatives that I coach. We kind of try to go and fix a surface problem like lack of sales or fear of visibility or creative blocks. And we try to do that by doing more, by doing, right? But often that problem is actually a signal that something deeper is out of alignment. And when I say alignment, I don't mean just being in the flow or feeling good. I mean your energetic system, your chakra system. And this is signaling you to pay attention. Hey, Pam, welcome. Hi, Lonnie. So, what are chakras? Why do they matter in your business? And I want to just start by like a little bit of a background and why it's important in your business. So, the chakra system is an ancient framework that maps the 7 main energy centers in your body. And this is from the base of your spine to the top of your head. And each one corresponds to specific emotional, physical, and spiritual functions. But I kind of want to weave it into why it's interesting for creatives and creative business owners because each chakra also aligns with aspects of how you actually show up in your work, in your business. So it's not just a spiritual tool, it's actually an energetic feedback system. So when a chakra is out of balance, it shows up in the way you create, in the way you communicate, in the way you price your work, or even in the way that you're attracting your audience. So today I kind of want to walk through each one of the 7 chakras and share what each one can tell you about your business. So I see there's some people here live with me who here knows about chakras. Let's just start a conversation in the chat and see if I can open any ideas or any interest for you to dive into this further. So I want to start at the base. This is the root chakra. The color for this chakra is red, and it is all about stability. So this is your foundation. It's your relationship to money and consistency and to feeling safe, being visible. So if your root chakra is out of balance, you might be undercharging. You might be resisting structure, or you might be feeling like your business is not sustainable. So, two questions to ask regarding your root chakra. The first one is, do I feel safe receiving money? Do I feel safe receiving money? And the second one is, do I trust my foundation? And that's, if you coach with me, if you've been through my programs, you know that understanding your identity is the foundation of your business, right? So right now, I want you to ask yourself, do I trust that foundation? Do I know who I am? And understand that we're always peeling back those layers. So, continuing to understand who you are helps you build your foundation to be even stronger. So those are two questions to ask about the root chakra, and nobody's answering the question in the comments, so I'm guessing that no one knows about the chakras. Which is good. Which is good. This should be interesting then. So the second chakra is the sacral chakra. This is represented by the color orange. This is creativity and pleasure. This is your center of creative flow and actual magnetism. So a blocked sacral shows up as burnout, dull content, like you don't really even care what you're posting, you just know you have to post, or creating out of obligation, like I have to do that, instead of desire, like I really want to do that. So, two questions for the sacral chakra. The first one is, what do I actually want to create? And you've heard me say this before, but it is the difference between creating to produce and creating for you, for flow, for joy, for excitement, right? So, what do I actually want to create? That is the first question. And the second question is, where have I been suppressing joy? Where have I been suppressing joy? Because a lot of times, behind closed doors, we love to create and make something. We're interested in something, but we will not show that. And when you're suppressing that, you're actually suppressing your sacral chakra and blocking yourself from that flow and that magnetism, what comes back to you. So where have I been suppressing joy? Those are the questions, the two questions for the sacral chakra. So the third chakra is your solar plexus chakra. This is represented by the color yellow, and this represents confidence and personal power. So this is your ability to take bold action, to trust your instincts, and to lead. And when this is off, you might actually hesitate to speak your truth. You're second guessing decisions, or you overconsume everybody else's strategies. And who here can identify with that? Like, oh my God, this is working for her. I should start doing that, right? And then you're just looking at that over and over and over. And that's where comparison comes in. And that's where you're actually leaking your personal power. So two questions here for the solar plexus chakra. Where am I giving my power away in business? So where are you giving your power away? Are you not showing up as your true self? Are you not creating just for you? Are you creating to produce? And the second is, what does self-led leadership look like for me? What does self-led leadership look like for me? Are you marching to the beat of your own drum, or are you following what everybody else is doing? So if anybody here is brave enough to answer, I'd love to know where you're giving power away in your own business. If you're brave enough to put it in the comments, please do. Okay, fourth chakra is the heart chakra. And this is all about alignment and connection. It is associated with the color green. And this chakra governs love and empathy and emotional connection with your audience. So out of alignment, this actually shows up as you needing validation, as you overgiving, or as you continually trying to prove your worth. So, hey, Audrey's here. She says, I'm trying to march to my own drum. I have in the past done what others wanted me to do, and it did not bring me joy. Right. And you know that I'm going to call you out on the trying word, right? There is no try, only do. So I love that, though. At least that's like awareness, you know? So, 2 questions for the heart chakra. Am I building my brand from truth or from proving? Are you continually trying to prove that you're good enough? And I want to just insert, a little parentheses here, like, who are you proving it to? Yourself or to others? Because if you're trying to prove to others, you yourself probably do not believe it. You probably don't believe that you're worthy. So are you building your brand from truth or from proving? And then the second question for the heart chakra, do I feel connected to the people I serve? Yeah, Audrey just said, I am marching to the beat of my own drum. I love that. It's just those little baby tweaks, and it's like being aware of how we're claiming it, and don't get me wrong, I do the same stuff and I have to correct myself too. So, all right, number 5 is the throat chakra. This is all about expression. This is your messaging, this is your content, and this is your offers. So if you're hiding, if you're editing yourself, if you're afraid to speak up, you are likely blocked in your throat chakra. This is represented by the color light blue. So 2 questions for the throat chakra. What am I not saying that needs to be said? What am I not saying that needs to be said? Pam says, yes, I do feel connected to the people I serve. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, throat chakra, what am I not saying that needs to be said? And this could be verbally or non-verbally. What are you not showing that needs to be shown? Right? And where do I dilute my message? So where are you kind of showing up but not really showing up? And these are like really, really important questions just to kind of, put in the back of your mind, or you can take your journal and just do like stream of consciousness writing and just see what happens. What am I not saying that needs to be said? Where do I dilute my message? All right, so the 6th chakra is your third eye. This has to do with vision. This is your clarity, your intuition, and your ability to trust what you see for yourself. This is represented by the indigo color, that deep, deep blue. And if you're unsure, like what is next, if you're always pivoting, and that was me, like literally, always pivoting. Or if you're always waiting for external validation, this one actually needs attention. So let's see what Audrey is saying. Throat chakra, being blocked resonates with me. I've been hiding and diluting my message and not showing up. I'm trusting to show up as myself. Yeah, and when you do, it actually feels good. You lose that anxiety when you actually feel like you can show up as yourself. Does that make sense? Like that goes away because you're not pretending anymore. You're not performing anymore. You're just you. You're just you. So the third eye chakra questions, what do I already know but haven't given myself permission to act on? What do I already know but haven't given myself permission to act on? And can I trust that vision even without proof? And you've heard me talk about this before, your dreams or your goals as your intuition, right? So Are you allowing yourself to trust that intuition? Because your third eye is your clarity. Your third eye is your intuition. Your third eye is your ability to trust what you see for yourself. So, are you allowing yourself to trust that vision, even if you don't have proof in your 3D world around you? And then the last chakra is your crown chakra. This is receiving and spiritual connection. So it is the color purple. And this is your connection to purpose and flow and also divine timing, right? And it goes back to the third eye and that trust. Are you trusting in your purpose? Are you trusting in your flow? Are you trusting in divine timing? If you are disconnected here, you might feel unsupported, uninspired, or like you have to force everything. And I think, social media and the pressure to be everywhere and to post all the time, I feel like that is constant force and it leads to burnout, like in every way. So, am I trying to control what I'm meant to receive? That is question one. Am I trying to control what I'm meant to receive? Right? Because we think we can control, but we really, really can't. Y'all know that, right? Am I trying to control what I'm meant to receive? And do I allow support? Do I allow support mentally, spiritually, and financially? Am I allowing it? Or am I continually pushing it away from force? Am I trying to force it into my life, and what that actually does is push it away? Does that make sense? So, 2 questions for the crown. Am I trying to control what I'm meant to receive? Do I allow support mentally, spiritually, and financially? So let's look at some signs that you are misaligned. How do you know if your chakras are out of alignment in your business? So here are a few signs. The first one is you keep trying new strategies, but nothing sticks. How about this one? You feel tired before you even start creating content. That is a sure sign, right? That's full on burnout. Ooh, Audrey says, I have not allowed support. What a revelation. I'm making that change today. I love that. How about this? You overthink everything, even things you used to love doing. Things that you used to allow yourself to do, you're overthinking it instead of just allowing it. Another sign is you feel resistance when it's time for you to sell whatever it is that you sell, when it's time for you to speak, or when it's time for you to actually show up. And I don't mean just like making a post on social media. I mean actually showing up in a real and raw way in your business. Some kind of big collaboration, getting on somebody's podcast, like getting a magazine or a newspaper article written about you. Right? Showing up in a big way. You're feeling massive resistance. Or another sign, and this is the last sign I'm going to give you in this area that your chakras are out of alignment in your business, is that your income is inconsistent even when your effort isn't. Let me say that again. Your income is inconsistent even when your effort isn't. So these are not just mindset problems, they're actually energetic imprints. And you can't strategize your way out of them. You have to feel them, you need to clear them, and you need to realign. So what I want you to take away from today is that your energy is not actually separate from your business. It is your business. Right? We are solo female entrepreneurs. We are running our business from the energy that is in our body. And when your energy is clean and it's aligned, you don't have to push. You actually magnetize. You move with clarity and you feel confident. And things actually start to click. And it's not because you're doing more, but it's because your system is finally congruent. And if you are in my mastermind, I actually have chakra clearing meditations that you could listen to. I have each chakra on its own, and then I have a full chakra clearing meditation. If you don't know where to find that in your dashboard, let me know. I will lead you to it. But things, things start to click. You understand where you're holding yourself back or where you're blocking yourself. And it allows you to move with more flow, more clarity, and more confidence. So I really, really love diving into the chakra system because it's so interesting. And when you know that your energy is flowing and that it is not blocked, you actually feel so limitless, right? So unstoppable. And when you realize where you're blocking yourself, you can continually work to unblock that flow and to create a stronger energy center, uh, from truth and trust rather than force. So that's what I have for you today. Next week, Monday, I'm not sure if I'm going to be live. I am actually flying to Maui next Monday morning. I will be in Denver on a layover in between flights. So if I can find a place quiet enough to come on and chat, I will. Otherwise, it might be either just a break next week, or I might just post a video for you guys to watch. So I'm not sure, but I am excited to go to Maui. So again, dig into your chakra system. If you are here and you're in my mastermind, or if you're in my Limitless Lab, those meditations are available for you at any time. I highly, highly suggest you listen to them. And just to give you this little baby nudge to pay attention to your energy, because it is telling you everything you need to know. So thank you so much for being here today. And I may or may not see you live next Monday, but I trust that you will come back when I return. So have a wonderful week, everybody, and we'll see you soon.